Now, I am not a Nikki Haley fan because Nikki Haley is a part of the military-industrial complex. Then Nikki Haley did what Nikki Haley does. She became a neocon. We started talking about foreign policy. And Nikki had, well, a bit of a meltdown about the concept of not spending more money in Ukraine, about the concept of not giving more money to Israel. Take a look.
A win for Russia is a win for China. We have to know that. Ukraine is the first line of defense for us. And the problem that Vivek doesn't understand is he wants to hand Ukraine to Russia. He wants to let China eat Taiwan. He wants to go and stop funding Israel. You don't do that to friends. What you do instead is you have the backs of your friends. Ukraine is the front line of defense. Putin has said once Russia takes Ukraine, Poland and the Baltics are next. That's a world war. We're trying to prevent war. Look at what Putin did today. He killed Prigozhin. This guy is a murderer, and you are choosing a murderer over a pro-American country.
First of all, Mr. Ramaswamy, you have 30 seconds. Mr. DeSantis,
Nikki, I wish you well in your future career on the boards of Lockheed and Raytheon.
I'm not on the boards of Lockheed and Raytheon. And
Boeing came off of it, but you've been pushing this lie. You've been pushing this lie all week, Nikki.
You want to go and defund Israel? You want to
okay, let me address that. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to address each of those right now. This is the false lies of a professional politician. There you have it.
Your watch, so the reality is, America less safe. You have no foreign policy experience, and it shows.
And you know what? I love their border policies. I love their tough on crime policies. I love that they have a national identity and an iron dome to protect their homeland. And what puzzles me is, I want to learn from those and apply those to protect our homeland, Nikki.
Israel
that is the
needs
answer.
America. America needs Israel.
Okay.
Stunning listening to her say that. Israel doesn't need America. America needs Israel. We need to commit billions of dollars to a country that is safer than ours, that a country that has stronger borders than ours, because we need them, is her argument. We have to commit it because Vladimir Putin is a murderer. Oh, because what? Joe Biden isn't? Because Hillary Clinton isn't? Because the American government isn't? Are you kidding me? Because NATO isn't? What did we do to Gaddafi? Do you think we're so stupid? Are we so stupid that we buy into this idea that we are running around the world to make other countries more safe? No, we're not running around the world trying to help other countries be more safe. We are effectively doing what we are accusing others of doing, right? So at the same time that she wants you to believe in the Cold War theory that, if we don't spend all this money in Ukraine, the USSR is going to be back, she's not acknowledging the fact that we've essentially built the USSR via NATO in European countries, that we have our boots on the ground in other people's countries that don't want us there. They're asking us not to expand to their territories. That is the hard truth. Your politicians are lying to you, and Nikki Haley ultimately wound up being a liar. She does not care about government spending. And so, yes, Vivek's retort was correct. Good luck at your future career on the board of Lockheed, because that's exactly where she's headed, and she knows where her bread is butter. She is John McCain 2.0. Now let's move on to Chris Christie. Chris Christie, what a fun time he was. Beyond that, though, Chris Christie, who hates Trump with every part of his being, was actually cosplaying Trump the entire night. I think he actually envies Trump, and he was trying to be funny, and he was trying to be the person that people took away and said, he was just so funny, and it just didn't work out for him, especially when Chris essentially said that Trump should be indicted, all of these ridiculous indictments, simply because he doesn't like him, right? He didn't point to a crime that Trump committed, but he agreed and thought that Trump should be indicted anyways, which is a remarkable position for somebody to take on stage. And so, yes, he was booed, the most roarish boo of the entire evening, which actually required the hosts to get involved. Take a listen.
You sit here in an answer right.
Hold on one
second. You sit here in an answer.
Go ahead, Governor Christie.
Hold on, Governor Christie.
Hold on.
Yes, Chris Christie should not be on the next debate stage. His campaign honestly ended. If it ever was a campaign, it ended with his attacks on Vivek for saying that even if he thinks what Trump did was wrong, wrong is not illegal, which is the correct take to have. You cannot be using the Department of Justice to go after people simply because you don't like them. It's a dangerous precedent to set. Chris Christie somehow disagrees, but something that he did very much agree on, And what Pence agreed on, and what, as I just showed you, Nikki Haley agreed on, was that we all must support Ukraine. The money must go overseas, or else Vladimir Putin bad. The USSR will rise again. Take a listen.
And I went to Ukraine because I wanted to see for myself what Vladimir Putin's army was doing to the free Ukrainian people. And let me tell you, I want you all to look around this arena tonight and imagine that every one of these seats was filled. And if every one of them was filled, there would still be 2,500 more children outside to make over 20,000 who have been abducted, stolen, ripped from their mothers and fathers, and brought back to Russia to be programmed to fight their own families. They have gouged out people's eyes, cut off their ears, and shot people in the back of the head, men, and then gone into those homes and raped the daughters and the wives who were left as widows and orphans.
So yeah, an emotional plea. He was trying to move the room by talking about the crimes that are taking place all the way in Ukraine and in Russia. And that was something that was of more significance to him and for everybody else on stage and what's taking place in our own country. The lie that these neocons kept selling was that we can do both. We can take care of what's happening in Ukraine while we take care of America. And that's obvious. Obviously, what's going on with Maui, you can see, oh, wait, no, we don't do that. Well, it's obvious by how our inner cities are thriving. Oh, wait, they aren't thriving. So no, we actually cannot do both. It's a answer that was delivered over and over again by people that are benefiting from the military industrial profit. They are. The complex is profiting them directly. And Pence, him too, he gave all of himself when it came to Ukraine with an emotional plea for Americans. Take a listen.
If we do the giveaway that you want to give to Putin to give him his land, it's not going to be too long before he rolls across a NATO border. And frankly, our men and women of our armed forces are going to have to go and fight him. I want to let the Ukrainians fight and drive Putin and the Russians back out into Russia.
I want to just briefly address Pence. Vice President Pence. I have a newsflash. The USSR does not exist anymore. It fell back in 1990.
Vivek, that is correct. If you believe that the biggest threat to America is the non-existent USSR, it's because you're an idiot. I want you to punch yourself in the face for being stupid. That's the truth. If you have fallen for the propagandist effort to ensure that we can leave Afghanistan, stealing billions from the American taxpayers and having done absolutely nothing, right, having accomplished nothing, to jump right into Ukraine and steal billions from the American taxpayers to inevitably accomplish absolutely nothing, then it's because you're an idiot and you're a robot.